All right, students, to begin this session, I'd like to do a little ASMR. All right, moving on. So, my advanced sound engineering students, this is for you. So, we're going to show you some helpful techniques to become a boss sound designer. So, your session should look like this for the Warhammer. You have all of these sound effects over here, your video player, okay? Let's change this to time code. And we're going to be working on this section with the footsteps walking. So there's actually quite a bit of technicality to know with, check it out, you have the group walking, and then you have the main guy start to walk. So we should hear him, it's going to be kind of a fade-up thing as we hear his solo footsteps taking more of the foreground, and then it's going to cut away, but we still hear them in the distance, okay? So I'm going to delete these, and then we're going to add them back in. Here we go. So I just put in a little ambience to work against. Right, just some forest ambience. Okay, now let's go over here to footsteps. Okay. So again, just hitting play and play twice. We'll stop and start. Okay, I'm going to drag these two in. Make sure my grid is off. Okay, yeah. Okay, I just had volume automation here, but we're going to just delete that. Okay, let's hear this. Okay, this is not going to be for the main guy. I'm going to just blend that in with this one. This one's holding its own pretty well. But together... Okay, so I'm going to put a marker right here. All right, about there. Where's my marker? So to nudge a frame, we want to put this on frame, because we're going to be nudging by a frame. It is Control arrow. Okay. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here real quick. All right. That's good. Going to name that. Cut away. All right, so let's do one at a time. So this one, we're going to cut that away about right there. So let's say we want to fade this up. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Now what we want to do, go to that transition and just do a one frame fade. So we're in frames. Each one of these is a frame. Just like that. Boom. Something like that. Now, we can work on finding the shortcuts to finesse that transition, but for right now, you don't have to worry about the one frame fade. Just edit up to the point, and then we can go through and clean that up later. Okay. Now this one, let's just do the same thing, but notice how it's not long enough. Now this is a cool trick. What we're going to do is, I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to trim the beginnings, and then just kind of move them on top of each other like this. We're going to make one new audio file out of this. So to do that, we're going to select both. We're not going to use the glue tool because, look, if I use the glue tool, I can't do any fading on this, okay? It's kind of annoying, right? So what you do is you select both, and you go up to Audio, Process it, no. Bounce selection. Now, I made a shortcut for it, Control-Shift-B, but you can make a shortcut for it if you want. I'll show you how. But just go up to Audio, gotta select it, and then you go Bounce Selection. And replace events, yes. Look, now it's 1, and look, I have the handles here. Now I can do fading. I can also change the type of slope of my fade to taste. Cool beans. Awesome. Okay, now let's add the sound effect for the main dude. Okay, I like this one. This one just strikes me. So this is going to be for the main guy. Okay. So we're just listening in. We're zooming in with our ears on our hero and his footsteps. So that's what we're listening for. So I'm going to solo or mute the others, solo this one. Okay, right away it's too loud, so I'm going to lower it. Okay, the pacing is pretty good, you know, just how fast is he walking? It's lining up pretty well. I'm actually surprised that works really well. Okay, awesome. Again, we can clean up the transitions later. You just want to convince the ear. Okay, but what we want to do is, well, let's just listen to these, see if we like it. Not bad, not bad. I'm still not hearing his footsteps quite enough, so I might actually lower the volume of these just a few decibels. Keep in mind, just visually and seeing, about every 3 decibels, you'll start to hear a noticeable reduction in volume. About 10 decibels will really start to do some damage. And then workflow tip, make sure to be looping these sections. So I'm actually not doing it correctly. I'm hitting play and stop again, so we can just kind of loop it. Okay, but now we should still be hearing footsteps here over this cut. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, let's start with this one. We're going to do some volume automation, okay? So I'm going to go right-click, show automation, and then this needs to be on read, and then we can start to draw. So right now we're pretty maxed on our volume fader. Good to keep in mind. That's why everything was kind of loud. ASMR. Okay, and are you still there? Don't fall asleep on me. Come on! All right, so here we go. I'm going to get the pencil tool. Oh, it looks like it already presents itself. So I just need 2 nodes. And over this marker, I'm going to drop this node. I'm going to zoom in, right? This requires a lot of zooming in. I'm going to drop it by about like 15, from 0 to -15. If I'm not mistaken, I should be able to copy and paste said automation to this track. Oh, it's not long enough. What do I do? What do I do? Tell you what. You might think this is a dilemma. It's really not. Just duplicate it. We're going to put this fade back. Kind of move this in here. Now, if I bounce the selection, it's also going to print the fade as well. So in that case, you might just not worry about creating a new selection. If you select both regions and hit X, it'll do a crossfade. So it'll make it nice and clean. Okay. So what I want to do is copy this. Let's see if this will work. So right click, show automation. Now if I paste it here, Control V, did it do it? You know, it did. You know, my goal for you is to try to figure out how to copy volume automation to this track. Okay, but for right now, just click two little nodes. I know it's tedious at first. You're thinking, why did I join this class? All right, because it's awesome and it's rewarding. Okay, so minus 15. You're making magic. You're selling realism. Let's see how this goes. All right, I need these soloed. Goosebumps. Magic. Okay. Keep that in mind, students. Keep those tricks in mind. Have a nice day. Start recording.